Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Michaela and Minnie, obviously. And I'm going to do today with you a cowl neck top, really cool, with a hoodie, yes. And it's such an easy project. I have here my piece already cut. So it's actually quite a big piece like that. In the pattern you will have to cut it in fold. So what does it mean actually in fold? It just means folding your fabric in two and then cut it along. So also today I will use just my normal sew machine. I just want to show you that it's completely possible to sew with your sew machine. This fabric is a mesh fabric, has quite a lot of elasticity on both sides, yeah. And it's really light. So I recommend you using a high stretch fabric. Can be mesh, can be a net like this one. All right, let's start. So I have here what it is, the main part of the top, and I have here the sides. They are both the same way, and we will put them on the side for the moment, and I will go back on it when the time will be there. But we will start with the main piece, and first thing what we're going to do, we're going to connect. So my fabric does not have a right side and a wrong side. Okay, I will choose one. Maybe the other one looks shinier. We will place a right side of the fabric on top of the other right side of the fabric. Yeah, this was the shinier actually. Sorry. So the right side on top of the other right side, and of course in my case it's actually impossible to pin, but I will be stitching it. I will be pinning it with my clips. So what you have to do, you have to just practically pin it all along this nice curve. This is the hoodie actually, like that. Like that. Okay, so I will be doing a straight stitch along all this long curve. Of course, if you do have a serger or an overlocker, you can actually serge it. For this project I prefer to use my my normal sew machine. A lot of the projects can be totally done just with a normal sew machine. Of course, it needs more patience as everything is a little slower, right? And yeah, so I'll be doing the straight stitch. I try to have my stitch length a little bit below 3 because I don't want it to be like a see-through, right? So sorry. And whenever you're using a such an elastic fabric, my recommendation is to go really slow. You don't want to rush because you don't want your fabric get in between. The same with the mesh fabric, can happen exactly the same thing. It's a tricky fabric. was our that was our hoodie, and I do allow about 6 millimeters, 8 millimeters of seam allowance. Of course, if you don't want your seam allowance to be like so visual, you can always like fold it on one side or separate it and then do another straight stitch. I won't be doing in this case because obviously the seam is just inside, but it's a recommendation. You can always do this, right? So in this moment we have already the hoodie created, and the next thing we're going to work on will be our back side, right? So this is the front, the face will be here, and the back of it will be here. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to apply elastic. So I'm going to turn it on the right side so it's easier, right? And I'm going to apply elastic on the wrong side, like I would say on the wrong side, just on the curvier side, which will be my back. Just on the curvier side I will be adding elastic. This little straighter part will be left undone for the moment because this will be in the back to tie it around with the straps. All right, so I'll be placing it, I'll be switching it now to my zigzag stitch, and for this project I'm going to use a transparent elastic. If you don't have it, well, I recommend you to buy it, as of course if it's a mesh or a net, of course elastic can be very visual, right? So transparent for this moment is actually very useful. So I'm going to do a few stitches back and forth, and I don't pull the elastic, I just simply guide it. I'm adjusting a little bit my stitch length. So the idea is not to pull it at all. It's just to have it with a good form around your back. Okay, so I did a few stitches back and forth, and now I'm going to cut the elastic. So I have here already the elastic added. The next thing I want to do, I actually want to go ahead and do a top stitch over the front. You don't need to add elastic. I simply fold it inside like that, and I'll be doing a straight stitch as a top stitch. It doesn't need to have a lot of elasticity, so there's no problem on making a top stitch as with a straight stitch, right? So I simply place it like that. I fold it inside. So for the top stitch, there will be a higher seam allowance. There will be around a centimeter and a half I'll measure it after, and I will be indicating it in the pattern. So the same, I'm going to do back and forth, and the same, I'm very careful when I'm stitching, because I don't want my fabric to stretch whilst I'm doing it, because otherwise it's going to be thinning, right, the margin underneath. So as you see, I'm going like really careful and not too fast. If you do have a cover stitch, you can always use a cover stitch for this step. Although I will advise you that it's a tricky one, as this fabric is quite tricky. Of course, depends if you find the same fabric or something similar. Alright, so top stitch done around the head. And now we are going ahead to do the bands, the bands, which will be attached to the back. All right, so I will be just doing one on video and the other one will be off camera. So practically I have here my bands. So practically what I will be doing, I will be the same, folding it inside like this, and the same I will be doing a top stitch over like that. And then once I've done with the two sides, here I will also folding it, I'll be folding it inside, right? So yes, I will start doing it, doing this one on camera, and I'll be just showing you the first stitches. So I practically folding it inside like before. And I'm thinking actually for this one should have been better a zigzag stitch. I'm so sorry. For this one is better a zigzag stitch, as it will stretch whilst you will tie it around the back. So I'm sorry, I've switched it to zigzag stitch. I'll be mentioning it in the pattern. So yeah, I'm zigzag stitching here. Of course, you can do all top stitching with the zigzag stitch. I felt like around the head it didn't need to, but if you want to have more stretch or anything, you can always do the top stitching with the zigzag stitch. Okay, so I'm actually continuing to zigzag stitch as a top stitch for this side and the other side. Once I'm done, I'll come back with the next step. Okay, so in order to speed up the process, I've decided to show you just one side of the bands in the back. So I've got here my my top with my hoodie, right? This is going to be the face. This is our back. We've added elastic, and next step we'll be doing a top stitch over. So the same like before, I'm going to fold it in inside like this, and I'm going to zigzag stitch. Zigzag stitch is really important for the stretch. Next thing I'm going to do, as this will be all around my back practically, right? Next thing will be to add to do a straight stitch here and a straight stitch here, and we are going to ruche it a little bit, and then we're going to attach the band, right? But first I'm going to do a top stitch over the elastic part, so I'm going to fold it in and zigzag stitch. I will be doing this off camera. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I did a top stitch on the elastic side, right? This is like along the curve of your back. And next I'm also going to do a top stitch. Let me see, this is my right side, of course. So I'm going to fold this inside like this, and I'm going to do a top stitch on the bottom of the top. So the same, I'll be doing a zigzag stitch. Okay, and now I'm going to switch to my straight stitch, highest stitch length. And I am going to make a straight stitch over the I'm going to place it like that. I'm going to make a straight stitch over the sides. This will be actually your obliques, more or less. So that's why I call it the sides. So I'll be doing straight stitch. You have to do a straight stitch on both sides. I'm just going to show you one side. Okay, very important, no back and forth stitching. And I'm going to tie it on one side. On this side I'm going to make like a little knot over here in the end, because I don't want it to come free. So very important, little knot at the base. Okay, and from the other side you take one thread, just one, the other one leave it away, and you pull it slightly until you get the ruched desired, right? And you will have to be measuring with a longer bit, right? We will be attaching it, let me just show you like that from up. We'll be attaching it like that, so it's the diagonal cut, right? So the higher is up, the smaller is down, right? And we'll be doing a straight stitch over with this, so we have to check that they have the same length, right? So I'm going to pull a little more in order to make sure that they have exactly the same length. I think now looks good. I'm going to secure this with a knot as well, and then I'm going to do another straight stitch over, right? Because I want it that it stays together without moving. So I'm just going ahead, I'm going to do a straight stitch over. And this is a moment if you need like to adjust the ruching a little more or not. ahead and I'm going to, this is very important step, you will want to place right side on top of the right side. So I'm turning it on the right side, and this is as well my right side. Yes, but it's not the right band. So I will be doing it with the other one because the bands are actually in mirror. So just for the showing, I'm going to place it like this, and I'm going to do, yeah, it is correct, the straight stitch. So here we're going to do a straight stitch, and for this part, if you want to go twice with a straight stitch, you can. Just to be more secure over everything, right? I'm sorry if I get too near to the sew machine. I just need to see it a little better. So yes, I will be doing another straight stitch over because I want to make sure that everything is well secured. So I'll just practically do this one more time. Okay. You can, of course, trim the excess fabric over here. It's absolutely not a problem. And with this, we did our last step, and now you have to do exactly the same thing on the other side to attach the the other strap to tie. And I hope you enjoy it, and I wish you happy sewing.